All right, let's move on to best international film. And given my winner here, I can be pretty brief. So I'll let you
I
guys
think we
take the
all
floor
can.
here.
Yeah.
Best international film, Dave, what do you got?
So when I came up with my nominees, I made the decision to remove animation and remove documentaries from this, just
Yeah, yeah, same.
narrative films, because I wanted to celebrate the most amount of films that I could.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah,
didn't
I
absolutely.
did
feel
the
like,
same. I
I
did the same.
Yep,
try not
me
to
too.
double up with a lot of awards. So take that for what it's worth. Nominees, big surprise. All We Imagine Is Light. We have already talked many, many times about this movie. And one thing that I said online that I still hold true to is that this movie has a scene with a woman and a rice cooker that has more
Oh,
romance and longing than you will see in any movie featuring a romantic
yeah.
pairing this entire year. It's
Yeah. No, it was
beautiful.
an
It's a
honorable
beautiful
mention for me
moment.
last week. Yeah,
Yeah,
Great
it's
scene.
so good.
Great
really
scene.
great. So All We Imagine Is Light. The second one is I'm Still Here, which I was very happy to see Fernanda Torres win a Golden Globe
Great
for this
performance.
performance. I
Great
mean,
performance.
just like I listened to your episode when you guys were talking about it, and whether you think this is just like a decent movie surrounded by a great performance or something more than that, I think it's absolutely worth the watch. I think
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm more on JD's side because I like the family structure bits
Okay.
in the
Mm.
beginning. Like I mentioned in my review on the site that I would watch a whole movie of just if this wasn't a true story, if this was fictional, I would watch just a family drama with this entire
Okay.
family. I just think they're
Mm.
all very, very watchable. The third one is Red Rooms, which we have talked about already a couple times. The fourth is The Seed of the Sacred Fig, and I think I am similar to Yoral's take on that movie, where the first 2/3 of it is like a 9-star movie, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, where are we going? No, wait,
Yeah.
we were doing so well.
And then
But I
yeah, it
will
Yeah.
just falls
say,
into conventionality by that point.
that this movie, anytime you ever again hear someone say, "Oh, how courageous to make this movie, how brave," tell them to
Mhm.
shut up, tell them to stop talking, because this man who directed this movie risked imprisonment and death to
Yeah.
make this
Yeah.
movie. You want to talk
Yeah.
Very
about
Yeah.
literally. Yes.
passion for your art. I mean, he made this movie in secret and directed it via Zoom in some
Yeah.
cases. It is incredible that it is as good as it is.
Mm. And now
Mhm.
they
So
can never go home
incredible.
now, him or the
Yeah,
cast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Talk
Yeah.
about
That
sacrifice
that
for
I
your
was just
art.
gonna say, what
Yeah.
a sacrifice. You have to respect that. I love that the movie
Yeah.
exists. I wish I liked it more, but I have so much respect for what it is and what it got
I
away
Absolutely.
with.
agree. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then the last nominee, I just watched, thanks to JD and no thanks to Brendan, The Count of Monte Cristo,
It's okay. It's okay.
which I loved. That is a book that I adore,
Okay.
and it is the first time I've seen many filmed and televised versions of it. This is the first one that I feel like got it right, and I was so
Mhm.
impressed. Like I,
Okay.
even though JD is like, this is great, I'm like, okay, is it though? Like, all right, we'll see. And I was like, and
I get it.
I think it's, I think it's the first time that the introduction to this story actually works, which is so necessary. You need to know what he has lost. And I think you really do
Mm.
feel that. So I loved,
Yeah.
loved Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise, the winner is All We Imagine It's Light. I mean, it's one of the best
All right.
movies of the year. It's incredible. It is, but I will say, I don't think it's one of those movies that you have to stick with. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
pacing wise, the first half hour to 45 minutes, it can be a little like, okay, where are we headed here? What's going on? Who are these people? But if you're patient, it is a deeply rewarding movie. Just lovely,
Mhm.
beautiful. You mentioned the final scene. And I mean, there are 4 or 5 scenes in this movie that I would be totally fine if that was one of your
Oh,
top
yeah.
5 of the year.
Yeah.
Like, incredible. So yeah, All
Mhm.
We Imagine Is Light, best international film.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll have another three-way win here. We'll see how things go. Although
So is this you saying All We Imagine
it
Is Light
is,
is your
it
winner?
is. Yeah, this is my winner. I'm just gonna come right out and say that because this is one of those categories I was almost tempted to not want to give a winner, but I really want to see if we have three the three of us are picking this movie to see if we have that trend going once again. The reason why I didn't want to give a winner here is because all five of my nominees are on my top 20 of the year. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself as far as how tightly represented they are when it gets to my actual favorites of the year, which includes All We Imagine Is Light, Close Your Eyes, the Victor Rice film, Evil Does Not Exist, How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, the Thai film that I think is really quite beautiful, and then Red Rooms, which you also talked about there, Dave. All 5 of these are in my top 20 in some capacity. My favorite,
those other 3 I haven't even seen, so maybe they would be high on mine too. So
I'd be curious to see what you think about them. Yeah. All We Imagine Is Light is my winner, though. But for reasons people will probably notice if they tune into this whole episode, God forbid if you do. And then if you go and then listen to part 2, when you notice how the ranking is structured on mine, you'll be like, oh, well, this just kind of spoils the surprise on Brendan's list.
Fair enough.
Well, don't worry, that's in like 25 hours. So like, don't forget.
You get to wait a long time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my nominees then for Best International Film. I also have Red Rooms. I have Evil Does Not Exist from Ryosuke Hamaguchi. All We Imagine Is Light, Payal Kapadia. I noted earlier The Beast, the French film from Bertrand Bonello.
Yeah.
And then my last nominee here, Do Not Expect Too Much from The End of the World from Rada Jude. Those are my 5 nominees here.
Yeah, sadly did not get the chance to finish this one in time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get a chance to finish by the time we do the top 10 show, and maybe you can circle back with some thoughts.
I'm an hour into it, and I'll admit right now I'm not really digging it yet. But I'm curious to see where it goes.
Well, it's 47 hours long, so there's plenty of time.
There's plenty of time for it to come up for sure.
See, now JD, you've made me feel foolish because one of the movies, I won't say which one, but one of the movies you just mentioned probably should have won because it's in my, you'll hear it in the next episode. So
Okay,
fair enough.
Just forgot to include it.
All right, there you go. So Dave will have to circle back.
That's right.
So yeah, my winner here, we're 3 for 3 again. All We Imagine Is Light, Payal Kapadia. I will note though, to Dave's point, and while I do understand what you're saying there, Dave, I think for me, even on a first watch, and this circles back to something I noted when we were doing best use of song, because I noted that one of my nominees there was The Needle Drop, The Homeless Wanderer. And that's a cue that plays a couple of different times early on in that film. So even if it does take a while for the film to, start building its narrative and who these characters are and what their struggle is, there's something about Payal Kapadia's filmmaking that enamored me. I was wholly hooked by the film and its emotion and what it was doing. Like that whole scene when she's there in the doctor's office, just playing with the stethoscope and just on her phone and like she's doing nothing. And I was entranced by the moment. Like there's just something about the craft of it. Again, that music, the homeless wanderer there.
And her presence in that scene. She's
incredible.
incredible.
Performance. Just the
so
visualization of what she's actually texting, the utilization of it as text on screen is really quite clever too.
I love it. So even though it takes a minute for the drama to start to infiltrate the film, the filmmaking more than makes up for that, I think. Just beautiful filmmaking. I love it. All right, so that is Best International Film. We have crossed over on 3 different categories. That is for sure a first time. I don't think we've ever done that before.
Good minds think alike.
That's right.
Absolutely
We finally got rid of that dead weight on this show. And got something good.
To quote Skylar from Smile 2, to just add some differences here, Doctor, I need a new brain.
Need a new brain, which is why I love that song. I need a new brain. Good stuff.